Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am Tally, and I am once again joined by my lovely players. We are down a C today, as he is not feeling well, but we still have Griphen, Kayla, Anthony, and Tan. Would you all like to quickly remind everyone who you're playing? I'll just go down the Discord list. Griphen.
I am Griphen. I am Brahck, the Goliath Blood Hunter.
Excellent. Kayla?
I am Vio, the human sorcerer.
Thank you. Anthony.
I am Andrew, the person learning everything and just getting by.
And possibly human fighter, I think.
Oh yes, human fighter. My
That
bad.
too. We want labels, damn it. No, I'm kidding. And Tan.
Hello, Tanya. I'm the aasimar paladin.
Named Gabby, yes?
Yes, named Gabby.
Excellent. And we are going to quickly explain C's absence with Bobby having caught sight of something shiny and gone off to chase it. He will be back at some point, we're sure. Okay, let's just do a quick recap. So, previously, our heroes were assembled by mutual acquaintance Striper, who wanted to talk to them about the Adventure Initiative, and sent on an actual paying job to deliver medicine to the village of Fayburn, which is being afflicted by a mysterious illness. Upon arriving, the party discovers the illness has not only taken most of the town's populace, but is also supernatural in nature. Specifically, this is the work of a spectre, a malicious type of ghost that drains the life force of others for sustenance. And wouldn't you know it, there's been a report of supernatural activity in one of the old houses in Fayburn. So where I believe we left off was you had all decided to go and meet with Lyda Higgs, who was the shepherd who had reported the supernatural activity. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
Excellent. Is there anything you would like to be doing on the way to Lyda's house? I'm going to say that Captain Silt, who is the captain of the guard here, is going to be staying behind the wayside inn to help with medicine distribution, and Lieutenant Merritt, who is her second in command, a human, is going to be accompanying you because you don't know your way around here yet. He's going to be taking you to the Higgs household. And is there anything you would like to be doing on the way?
I'm good.
Observing the natural wildflowers.
Oh, very
That's about
nice.
it.
They have some lovely I'm gonna say they have some heather here as well, and also some lovely buttercups and dandelions.
Yeah.
I'll look for signs of what this is, what this supernatural thing is.
Ah, yes. You don't learn anything particularly new. Most people are not out and about at the moment. You notice as you're walking along that it's very quiet. Everyone seems to either be at the inn getting treated or in their homes resting. You do not see a lot of people on the streets, so it's kind of difficult to get a read on what's happening. It's just a slightly unsettling, quiet atmosphere. And as you're walking along, Lieutenant Merritt does seem deep in thought and slightly troubled by the recent revelations of what is causing the illness. Eventually, you do reach a small cottage. Lieutenant Merritt has led you slightly into the outskirts of Fayburn, and you are led to a small cottage, and you can tell that this is definitely where a shepherd lives because there is a large field full of sheep next to it. Kind of a giveaway. Merritt will stop and gesture to the house. This is where Miss Higgs lives. Would you like me to stay and make the introductions, or will you all be alright to do that yourselves? I'm a little anxious about getting back to my captain and helping with the situation at the inn.
We've got it covered.
Thank
You
you.
should be fine.
We're totally professional.
He reaches out and shakes hands with each of you, just very grateful, basically, that you're here to help. And he lowers his voice and he has a very serious look on his face as he says, "Just know that I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, but you need to be careful. I already told you that if a spectre drains too much life force, the subject will die. But it's more than that. If the victim is a humanoid such as yourselves, you won't just die, you'll become another spectre. Don't let that happen.
That sucks.
Alright?"
Will do.
He's actually going to hand you what looks like... He's going to hand Violette what looks like a simple wooden whistle. He says, the guards sometimes use this. If you get into dire straits, blow on it and someone will come help you.
Dope.
And he nods, salutes you, and he's going to head back down the road to the inn, which leaves the four of you, Bobby, as I said, having gone to investigate something in the forest, facing the small cottage, which it's fairly quiet except for the constant baaing of sheep nearby. What do you do?
Say hi to the sheep. Thank you, sheep. I love you.
One of the sheep clearly loves you back.
Dope.
I walk
Alright,
up to the
now-
door and knock.
You knock. There
Yeah.
is silence for a moment. Then, yes, sorry, just coming. And eventually, the door opens to reveal a rather harried-looking half-orc woman. She has a short crop of black hair and just looks a little flustered. And she just looks at you all. Yes, hello, I'm sorry, I don't, are you from out of town?
Yeah.
Yes. We are
Yes, we are
here
out of town.
investigating things happening.
Investigating, is this to do with the illness, or is this, is Captain Silt doing something about the haunting?
All of the above.
Oh,
We got it
goodness.
covered.
Well, then I'm very glad to... Oh, Manners, I'm so sorry. My name's Lyda Higgs. It's nice to meet you all, although I suppose I wish it could be under better circumstances. As Lyda is talking, a small gnome child approaches from behind, and of course Lyda's not an enormously tall half-orc. She's, a fairly standard average size, sort of round-faced and a little bit plump, and there's a very, just, the gnome child is just very small in comparison. It just kind of peeks around Lyda's leg, and they have brown skin and very sort of messy brown hair that falls into their eyes. They're very sort of wide green eyes, and they are clutching a worn leather journal like it's very dear to them, and they are just peeking out around and looking at all of you with they're looking sort of almost as worried as Lyda is, honestly, just kind of like, what's going on here? And Lyda glances down at them. Oh, this is Clover. Clover's my sibling. Clover, these nice people here are going to, I'm actually not sure what they're going to do, but it's something to do with the sickness and the haunting, and goodness, I'm not making much sense, am I? I'm sorry, I've just been worried. I'm so sorry. What are your names?
Hi,
I'm Theo.
I'm Andrew.
Gabby.
Brahck.
Hello, yes. So, you've come to... Let me get this straight. You've come to find out more about the haunting that I reported? Would that be correct?
Yes.
Oh, well, goodness, I should... My Manners, I'm so sorry. Would you like to come in? I can get you some tea while I'm telling you what's happened.
That sounds wonderful.
Sure.
Thank you. She steps to one side and allows you to come in, and she kind of offers an apologetic nod to Brahck. I'm terribly sorry. We don't have many goliaths over, so the chairs might not be exactly your size, but
I'll just kneel.
thank you, you're very kind. And she's going to hurry to the kitchen. Clover is going to show you all, just to the kitchen table so you can take a seat while Lyda is bustling around, putting the kettle on the stove and what have you. And you can tell that she's kind of using the time to make the tea to sort of calm herself down a bit, because she's you can tell she's a bit on edge from all of this. And Clover just sort of stands in the corner, just very quietly watching, and just
I'm gonna wave at Clover.
Clover blinks and then shyly waves back. Eventually, Lyda comes and pours the tea for everyone and starts passing it out and takes a seat as well. Right. Before I tell you what's been happening, did you have any questions that I can help you with before I get right into it?
Well, how long has it been since these hauntings have started?
I didn't take exact note, but I think it's been a few weeks, perhaps a month, something like that. Clover, sweetheart, would you like to go and read in the other room? And Clover shuffles and then eventually sees themselves out into the hallway, presumably to go sit down and read. And she turns back to everyone. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a wreck about it. Since our parents went away, I'm responsible for Clover, and I worry about them a lot. I don't really want to talk about this in front of them, and I'm not sure how much they remember of it, but their sleep has been rather disturbed, and I'm quite sure it has to do with the supernatural business, because I started noticing it around the same time. They've been having terrible nightmares, and I can't explain why, but I'm certain that it's related.
Where was the last time you saw anything weird or out of the ordinary?
Well, I suppose it would have been sometime last week. It's the old Paladin house. It's where Clover used to live. You may possibly notice that Clover and I are not the same species. You see, Clover's family, their parents, used to live in the Paladin house. They left some time ago. I won't go into the reasons, but when they did, Clover came to live with me and my parents and became my foster sibling. Now that my parents have gone away as well, I'm their sole carer. So, the Paladin house is still technically Clover's home, so I go by there sometimes, to check on it and make sure it's not falling too much into disrepair. But the last few times I've gone, there have been these loud noises, and I thought maybe it was just, I don't know, some kids playing a prank, or maybe some animals had got in. I was a bit worried, but the last time I went up to the door, there was this loud banging again, and then there was ink appearing on the door, writing out words. When I went back to look later, they weren't there anymore, but and I have to wonder if I was imagining it, but
words were?
the words said, "Leave this place."
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of want to go investigate that too.
So do I.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hoping that's what you'd do, but do be careful. I don't know what's going on there, and I don't know how it's related to Clover.
Can I ask something about Clover?
Yes?
Uh, do his nightmares or dreams have a pattern of any sorts, or is it just all disturbances and no
Well,
patterns?
it's they, and I don't actually know what their nightmares are. I just know that they toss and turn and cry out in their sleep, and it's obvious that they're having nightmares, but when I wake them, they can't remember any of it.
That
Okay.
that journal that Clover's holding on to,
Yes?
did it belong to the parents?
Well, sort of. It actually belonged to their. Now, was it their grandmother or their great grandmother? I can't remember. But yes, it's one of their ancestors, I suppose. It was I suppose you'd call it a family heirloom. Clover's never without it. They they uh they learned to read partially through that journal.
Is there a slight possibility that we may take a look at it before we go investigate the house?
Possibly. You'd
If it's
have to.
okay with Clover, that is.
Of course, it would be entirely up to Clover. It's their book, so yes. Well, why don't I just go and get them? And she gets up and she opens the door, and you hear a scrambling, and Lida looks down, and Clover is standing there very sheepishly. Clove, were you eavesdropping? And Clover starts to shake their head, and then just slowly nods. All right, well, come on in. And Clover shuffles forward. So this paladin here was wondering if they could take a look at. Sorry, paladin, was it he or she or they?
Um, I don't mind either.
Oh, all right. Well, this paladin here was asking if they could take a look at your journal. And Clover kind of clutches onto it a bit tighter, but then comes over and stands quite close to Gabby and quietly says, why?
We were just wondering if there would have been any clues as to why there is these disturbances at your parents' old place. Also, maybe there was some things your ancestors had done before that may have caused these disturbances to pop up.
If they had, wouldn't have popped up earlier.
Clover looks a bit worried. You think my old family might have done this?
That's not what we're saying, sweetie.
Highly unlikely.
We're just trying to explore all possible avenues.
Okay. Be careful with my book, though, okay? It's one of a kind. And they very gingerly hand it over to Gabby.
I take it from her and put it on the table I presume we're sitting at.
Yes.
And I would like to use a second charge of divine sense.
Interesting. 1, let me just check my notes. And 2, can you remind me again the wording of divine sense?
Presence of a strong odor registers as presence of strong evil registers on your senses as a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You also know the type, celestial fiend or undead, of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. Within the same radius, you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated. You can also detect the usage of the Hallow spell.
Okay. I'm just going to look up something. I will try not to take too long. Okay, what I'm going to say is that you cannot detect any fiendish, celestial, or undead beings in the vicinity. You can't detect anything that's been consecrated or desecrated. What you can detect about the journal is that there's a strong aura to it. Like, this is an item that was very important to someone who is now dead. Like, it seems to have fragments of... It's almost like it has the prints of someone's soul on it. It was very important to someone. I'm stretching the rules of your spell slightly, but plot.
Yeah. I asked Lida, was either one of Clover's ancestors a human?
Not to my knowledge. All deep gnomes, as far as I know. Why do you ask?
Because we suspect this may be the cause of a spectre.
A spectre?
How do I explain this?
No, I know a little bit about spectres. They're like... Clover, if I send you outside, you're just going to listen at the door again, aren't you? And Clover nods. Spectres, they're like ghosts, but evil, yes? And they hurt people?
Yes. The thing with specters is, as far as I recall, if a human dies to being haunted by a spectre, they in turn can become a spectre themselves.
Oh, I should clarify. Humanoid. So,
Humanoid.
any of the playable races, it could happen to a gnome as well.
So technically anyone.
Yeah, anyone in your party. Basically, if they're a playable race in D&D and they die to getting life drained by a spectre, they can be turned into a spectre. Is my understanding. I may be taking some liberties.
Bobby
Who cares about rules anyway?
I don't know what would happen with Bobby.
Yeah, I was curious about that too.
Yeah,
I propose that we don't let Bobby get killed by a spectre, and then we'll never have to figure it out.
I support that wholeheartedly.
I'm really curious now.
Bobby is not a science experiment. He's my friend.
I know.
I mean, even if it didn't kill him, would it still drain him the same way it would drain everyone?
Yes, spectres.
Yes,
I'll just let you all know. Spectres can drain any living being. It's just if it's a humanoid, it can then turn into a spectre. If it drains an animal, I think the animal just dies.
Okay, that makes sense now.
So Bobby is a
So
special
let's not kill
case.
Bobby.
Yeah, he
Bobby
ain't coming
special.
back.
We don't know about Bobby, and we're never going to find out. Because I'm not letting that happen.
Poor Bobby when he listens to this.
See, just going, you did what to my character while I was gone?
We love you, C.
We do. Don't worry, I won't let them. Okay, so yes.
Anyways, this could be a reason the specter's soul didn't move on and decided to stay back and haunt people. I know it's an important family heirloom for Clover, but could we just borrow this if it might be the case?
Clover is picking up a little bit on what you're saying here, and the conclusion they're coming to seems to alarm them. Are you gonna have to destroy my grand's book to make the haunting stop?
I do not.
Let's not jump to that conclusion.
I personally don't think we have to destroy the whole book. There may be certain pages which are.
And I roll an intelligence check with advantage to try and figure it out.
Go on then. Go on. Roll it. Well, what exactly are you trying to figure out? Do you mean whether or not Gabby's theory is correct or something more specific?
Mostly whether a specter can be found as
Yes.
something like
Go
that,
ahead.
to
DC
something like that.
DC 15. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Alright. Haha. Done. Yeah.
Yep.
17 plus something else. Hold on. That's that. What is that? Is that intelligence?
Yeah, intelligence. Unless your intelligence modifier is -3, you got it.
It's -2.
Cool. You just get it.
Whoa.
Right on the button. Spectres generally are not bound to physical objects.
Okay. So I will say that to them. I'll say specters are bound to that type of magic. They're not bound to physical objects.
Clover just kind of looks at you and looks quite grateful and a little bit relieved.
I assume the journal is bound.
How do you mean?
Journals usually have that little clip which they bind the journal, right?
Yes.
Or some similar.
Yeah, it's click shut, yeah. But like it can be opened.
I open it and flip through some pages and see if I see anything interesting.
Do you read
We're not looking
Gnomish?
for their secrets.
Do I read Gnomish? Nope.
What you see is writing in a language that you don't understand.
Quality.
Very cool looking language there.
Ah,
Sorry, there is more than one person speaking there. What was that, people? I think, Kayla, did you say something?
Oh, I just made a joke. It's all good.
Okay, cool. Griphen, did you say something?
I was just saying that Gnomish is a very clear language to look at.
Yes, I'm gonna say it is. This particular gnome had very sort of neat curly handwriting. Out of interest, do any of you speak Gnomish or read
I do
Gnomish?
not. I do not.
Nope.
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 Oh well.
Common, Celestial, and Elvish. That's what I speak.
Fair enough.
Common, giant, and Griphen.
Okay,
I think I just have common and thieves can't.
that makes sense, especially with your.
The best.
Sorry, what was that?
I said thieves can't. Best.
Yeesh.
Regardless, I would like to see if I recognize any words from my history lessons I took when I was young.
Okay. Is history a skill? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
history is a skill.
Sweet. Roll history. Because it's in a different language, the DC is going to be high for this one. It's going to be 20.
Mm.
Oh my god, that's amazing. On the button.
Oh my god.
On the gosh darn button. Okay. You read a few place names. You recognize the names for Magpie's Roost and Fayburn. What else? What else can you see in this journal through flicking through? You see a few spell names. Like, you're pretty sure that those are the gnomish versions of certain spells. And sorry, I'm just trying to think what else you would find that would make sense. You see some names also, like even in gnomish, you can make out you can make out names, and you can gnomish names, so you can kind of infer that the journal is talking about people that the writer knows.
No, then I just close the journal, buckle it back up, and give it back to Clover.
Clover hugs it.
Oops.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us take a look at it.
Okay. And they just nod.
Well, doesn't look like anything interesting in the journal.
It's
Nothing caught my attention.
it's an account of their ancestors' life, I think, and spells. Yes, she was a wizard, warlock, but she did some wizardy things too. Right. So she wrote about all that stuff in here. Her research. I can't understand it all yet, but... And Clover is aware that they're talking more than usual, gets self-conscious and trails off.
Someday, I'm sure you'll understand it all, and it will be totally worth it.
They smile a little. Thank you.
I feel like the only thing left to do is look at the house.
I think so. Shall I... I'm a little anxious about going there. I know some druidic spells, but I'm not really suited for dealing with this kind of thing. Perhaps I can show you to where it is, and would you all be able to take it from there?
Yeah, just point us in the right direction, and we'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Clover, do you actually go and... Okay. And Clover just shuffles out the room and seems to actually go further than listening at the door this time. Lyda puts down her tea and goes over and waits for you all to accompany her outside.
Alright, let's go, guys.
I'm gonna bump my knees and walk over there.
Of course. Poor Brahck, just been on his knees the whole time.
I'm used to it by now.
No.
You must have really strong thighs.
Yeah.
Every day is leg day.
Oh. Alright. Let's go.
Okay. Lyda is going to lead you back into town, and there's a windy sort of road that's a little bit off the beaten path, more than the rest of town, and up a sort of smallish hill is quite a nice looking house. It's not like a grand manor or anything like the governor has in Ennisford, but it's decently sized. You can tell that, like, once upon a time probably a big family lived here. And she points you up the path that leads to the front door, and she stops walking and looks a little like she's a bit nervous to go any further. That's it. That's the Pellywet house. That's where Clover and their family used to live before. Well, that's another story. But it's been sitting abandoned for a few years, and ordinarily I'd say there's nothing really to worry about there, except that you think it's a spectre?
Yeah.
I know it's a specter.
Well, best of luck. Be careful.
I
Thank you for the
would,
hospitality and the tea, and we will go check this out.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh,
I would,
my
I
pleasure.
would
Thank
head,
you.
I would head back to your house or look at Clover.
Okay. I really do appreciate this. Thank you. And she just kind of makes a little awkward curtsy because she's not sure what else to do, and then she is going to hurry back home to look after Clover. You are left alone with this. It seems like a fairly just nondescript house. If you didn't know that it was haunted, you probably wouldn't have guessed from looking at it. It's just... But then again, it's quiet because it's abandoned. But then again, most of the places in town at the moment are quite quiet because everyone's sick. So if you didn't know there was something different about this house, you probably wouldn't have been able to clock it.
I have
Well,
a
I think
question.
it's too quiet. So I propose a sing along as we walk towards the house.
Good.
I'll do Stinky Baritone.
Good.
Of course.
Yes, excellent.
I've got soprano.
Oh my gosh, there are 4 of you. You can be a barbershop quartet.
Oh, absolutely. The dream.
You don't want my haircuts.
I actually have a question about Gabby's divine sensing power. Is that something that he just does like mentally himself, or we all know it when he's doing it?
Well, it's an action, so you can see me concentrating and trying to figure something out. But besides that, I don't think you can tell if I'm using it or not.
Okay, because I was gonna say if I could, I would ask you to do it again, but if I can't, then I don't know about it. So okay, never mind. All right, let's go knock on that door, guys.
Okay, you gonna go up and knock?
Yes.
Who is knocking? Or is Andrew knocking?
Yeah, I'll be the one to knock this time.
The door shudders violently.
I draw my
Don't
sword.
knock on the door again. I don't trust.
Um, I'm gonna just say hello. Is anyone here?
You hear a noise like the howling of wind, and you can hear something rattling around inside. And the door, as Lyda had said, the door was blank. The door is blank, but you start to see dripping down, as though it were like blood dripping down a wound, black ink dripping down the door, and it starts to spell out the words, "Be gone."
Well, I would, but you're creepy, so I can't. Let's go in.
Yeah. As we kind of go in, I'm gonna just be talking out loud, just like "Who are you?" etc.
The general shaking of all the things continues. As you go in, it's clear the house hasn't been inhabited for some time. Slightly disturbed dust lies thick on the hardwood floor, which creaks with age when you set foot on it. A set of keys hangs on the wall by the door next to a sorry-looking broom. This is the sort of entranceway, the sort of front hall of the house. So there isn't a lot in there.
I
Oh,
take
yay,
the
party.
keys.
Sorry, two people at once there. What was that, Griphen?
I take the keys.
You take the keys. And did you say something as well, Kayla?
Yeah, I think we should have a foyer party, obviously.
Good.
No, but I'm gonna take the broom, even though I know I'm like a sorcerer and I could like do magic. I just want to hold the broom in front of me.
Right. You both try to do that. But the keys fly off their keychain and hover in midair, and the broom zips across to the other side of the room.
Seriously, dude?
The broom sweeps the floor angrily in place.
Someone
dare
call
you.
an exorcist.
What was that, Tan?
Someone call an exorcist.
At which point, I would like everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh, including me. Heck.
Oh wow, I did terribly.
That's fine, we're saving the best till last.
I've got an 11. Total.
Nice. Well, the broom's pretty fast. The keys are even faster. Okay, let me just type up the initiative order for you all.
I am definitely last.
Poor VO.
What is your initiative?
I rolled a 1.
I know, but like your modifier.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's, is
I
it
don't
Dex
know.
modifier for initiative?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you had it.
I was gonna say on the D&D
Only.
page, it shows separately from everything.
Oh wow, it's a +2. Either way, that's still 3.
Okay, would everyone be so kind as to tell me their initiative when I ask for it? Griphen, what's your initiative?
11.
Typing is hard. Kayla, you said yours was 3.
Yes, 3.
Anthony,
Mine is 15 plus 2, 17.
Quick maths.
quicker than I can do.
Big mood.
And Tan.
19.
Nice, you can go ahead of the keys. Okay, so I've got Gabby, the keys, the broom, Andrew, Brahck, then Vio. Have I missed anyone? I don't think I have.
Looks good.
Okay,
Yeah, that's good.
top of the round. Gabby, you notice before anyone else does that these household objects are taking up a fighting stance. What would you like to do?
Where is everyone else in relation to where I am?
That is up to all of you. Who went into the house first?
I think it was
I
Andrew.
think it was me. Yeah.
Okay, so Andrew is probably furthest inside the house. I'm guessing that Brahck and Vio are next to the door because that's where the objects they were reaching for were.
Yeah.
And then Tan, it's up to you where Gabby is.
I'm gonna go up and stand adjacent to Andrew
Okay,
and prepare retaliatory strike if they come close.
cool. So
That's my
you're
action.
holding your action.
Yes.
Cool. The keys are going to each go for a different person. So the first key. Hang on, I need to pull up my handy dandy spreadsheet I made just for this. Okay, so key number 1 is going to go for Brahck, key number 2 is going to go for Vio, and key number 3 is going to go for Andrew, because I think they were all the furthest in. So, excuse me while I just make some attack rolls. Yay!
So excited.
That can't be right. Oh no, I see what I've done. No, I don't see what I've done. Oh, one of those keys got a nat 20. Okay. The key that is going for Brahck, I'm assuming, Brahck, that your AC is not higher than 24. Although it might be.
No.
What is your AC?
It's 14.
It hits. You take 2 damage.
Oh no.
Look, they're keys. They're fast, but they're also very small. So, no, I'm sorry. Did I say 2 damage? 1. 1 piercing damage. That's what they do.
Awesome.
Look, they're doing their best. The second person, Vio, because it critted, it does double damage. So you take 2 damage. No, sorry. Yes, yeah. Your AC is not 25. It hits you.
It's definitely not.
Yeah. I had to think. What am I missing? Oh yeah, AC. Oh yeah, no, it definitely does hit. So you take 2 damage. Now that leaves. Andrew, what is your AC?
I'm not gonna lie. What is AC?
If you look
Armor
on your
class.
character sheet, your AC should be in the top right-hand corner along with your hit points.
Armor class.
Oh,
Oh, armor class, yes, sorry.
it's 13.
Okay, you also get hit for 1 piercing damage. So just 1 hit point off.
Okay.
There you go.
So like everybody
Those-
got like smacked with a key, and then I got like poked with a key, but like aggressively.
Yeah.
Like a little bullet.
It's like this. The keys are just being sharp little bastards at you, basically.
Iconic.
Before I move on to the next initiative, did you want to use your held action, Tan, or do you want to keep holding it?
Yes, I will use that action against the key, which is now beside me and Andrew.
Okay, so that is key number 3. Yes, key number 3. What would you like to do to key number 3?
I think I'll just swing down with my rapier and try and hit it.
which is going to be interesting because the keys have a very, very high AC because they are tiny. So, want to go ahead and make that roll?
Yeah.
You want to hit an AC of 19.
Oh, you did not hit.
You did not hit an AC of 19, but the important thing is you tried.
That's a natural one.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Your rapier kind of goes into the wood of the floor, and the key just kind of zips around you. This brings us around to... Oh, it brings us around to the broom. Okay, I get all my turns at once. The broom, seeing that you try to attack its key brethren, is going to go for you, Tan. So let me just double check what the broom can do. Broom furiously dusts and sweeps its way towards you, Gabby, and it gets a 7, which I'm guessing does not hit your AC.
No.
No, it just, you manage to just neatly sidestep it while still pulling your rapier out of the wood, and it just kind of goes right past you.
Those are good sound effects.
Thank you, I try. And now we find the household objects have had their turn in the sun. We now have Andrew. What would you like to do?
I think I'm gonna try to shoot one.
Ooh, interesting. Which one are you shooting? You have your pick of key 1, 2, 3, or broom.
I think I'm gonna go for the broom since it's a bigger target.
Fair. Go ahead and roll to hit. You want to hit an AC of 14. Are you firing the gun that Gabby gave you?
Correct.
What
The
is your
pistol.
dex modifier?
It's +2.
Cool. That means you got a 15, and you hit the broom with your pistol shot. Would you like to go ahead and roll damage? Do you know how to roll damage for a pistol?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I believe it's a 1d6, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it on? Do you have the pistol? Do either of you have the pistol on your character sheets?
It's 1d10 piercing.
Nice. Okay. Andrew, would you like to roll a d10 then, please? Oh, plus
Okay.
dex, right?
Yes, plus
Yeah, yeah.
dex.
1d10 plus 2.
Okay, I got 11.
11. Excellent.
Awesome.
Oh,
It
that's
seems
fun.
so
That's fun. The broom goes down.
It's so powerful, that pistol. Oh my god.
But you have to load it every time you shoot it.
Okay, so
Oh,
it started off
And that
loaded.
takes an action.
Is it a bonus action or a full action to reload the pistol?
It takes up, if I recall correctly, it takes up half your movement.
Okay. Well,
So
we'll worry
15
about
feet of movement worth, I guess.
that in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll see if we actually get to the end of the round. The broom, the bullet kind of hits the broom square in the top of the handle, and it just kind of ricochets, goes spinning, like, and then just kind of goes against the wall, and then just falls and clatters to the ground. And that is not going to be a problem for you anymore.
Cool.
You may, if you wish, use a bonus action to blow the smoke from your pistol and look uber cool doing so.
Yes, I will do that.
Roll
Excellent.
for style.
Yes. And that brings us around to Brahck. It is now your go.
Okay, I would like to, as a bonus action, I'd like to take my sword and just tap it into my shoulder,
Okay.
which deals 1 damage.
Oh, you doing damage to yourself. Oh, is that a Blood Hunter thing?
Yeah.
Ah, there's the Blood and Blood Hunter. Okay, you do 1 damage to yourself for your bonus action, and for your...
Couldn't you have just taken the blood from me getting stabbed with a key?
No.
No? Okay, that's not good enough. Fine.
It has to be more emo than that.
It has to
Wow.
be my, it has to be my blood.
It has to be a sacrifice.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I mean,
Crawling
I really like
in
that it
my
has to be-
skits.
Oh my god, I love it.
Anyway, sorry, I'm done making fun. What's your full action going to be, Griphen?
and my sword's gonna burst into flames,
Nice.
and I'm gonna attack the keys if I can.
Which key are you going for?
The one that went for
The one that went for Vio, which I believe is key number 2. Okay, roll to hit, please. Again, it's 19 you want to get.
So that's 9. Hold on. 9 plus 6. So
Close, but no cigar.
Not 10. Yeah.
It looks really epic. Your flaming sword cuts an arc that just kind of burns through the air, and like the dust that's kind of been disturbed kind of singes, and you can smell the burning, but the key just kind of goes boop and is out of the way.
Wow.
Okay.
Tragic.
Vio, it's your turn.
Great.
We got this.
Do you think that a ray of frost would do anything against a tiny metal key?
Ooh. Well, let me look at Ray of Frost.
It certainly might.
Bear in mind, this is a learning experience for me as well. Ray of Frost. Cantrips. Bup, bup, bup. A frigid beam of blue-white light streaks toward a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, it takes 1d8 cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 until the start of your next turn. The spell's damage increases by... Yeah, that's something else. Yes, they don't have resistance to cold, or if they do, I'm ignoring it. So, yeah, you can definitely go ahead and give Ray of Frost and remember to use your... Yeah, +5 to hit.
+5?
That seems to be what the spell says.
Jesus.
Ooh.
God damn it.
Oh, I forgot that's a first level.
God damn it, these keys. These keys are smug little bastards. So that's an 8. And again, it looks really cool, especially after the flaming sword thing. There's this ray of like icy cold wind, and it sparkles against the light of the flaming sword, and it looks epic, and the key that you're aiming towards just goes boop and flies out the way. And you could swear that these bastards are laughing.
I tried, man.
You did. Yeah. I would like everyone to, just give me a quick intelligence roll to see if we can speed this up a tiny bit.
Oh boy.
Because I don't want this to go on for too long and get frustrating.
What's my intelligence?
That's a 4.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Wow, do any of us even need to roll?
I mean, you still can. You might get another d20, get 2 good ideas. So... No, that's not bad. Vio, you kind of think these keys are just really hard to hit. You tend to... you kind of think that, if this were in some kind of, like, system where everything was determined by numbers, you feel like these keys would be like a 19 difficulty to hit. Meanwhile, Gabby, you feel like these keys, like I said, are going to be really hard to hit through conventional methods. Perhaps you'd have an easier time pinning them down if you had something large to kind of catch them in, or smother them in, or a spell that had an area of effect rather than a single target.
And I'm just angry at keys.
We're all angry at keys.
The keys, as I said, are smug little bastards.
They must die.
And since Vio has just had her turn, that means we're up to the top of the round and back to Gabby. Oh, have we lost Kayla?
Am I back yet?
Oh, you're back.
Are you back now?
Oh, yes.
I'm going to blame the
Yes.
keys for that one.
Yeah, it was the keys all along.
look around the room. Is there anything else we can use? An old tablecloth?
There is,
Or
in fact, just that. There's like a little side table that you put. I want to say post, but no, yeah, you get post in fantasy settings. Yeah, there's a little like side table that you put post on. It has a tablecloth over it.
Sweet.
can I reach it?
You certainly can. It's just by the door.
You should rip the tablecloth off and hope that everything stays on it, like a magic trick.
There's nothing else on it. Sorry, but that means that
Okay,
it'll
well,
stay on.
You're right. You're so right.
I pulled the tablecloth off gingerly, carefully as not to tear it in case anything.
Oh,
Hopefully, it's still strong. And let's see, one of the key, two of the keys. Oh, they're all just where they are right now.
they are sort of hanging in the air tauntingly. One is near Vio, one is near Brahck, and one is still near you and Andrew.
I try and catch one of the keys in the tablecloth.
Cool. I'm gonna say for that, roll. Oh, sorry.
Dex.
I was indeed going to say Dex. Go ahead and roll Dex. That's a 12.
Mm.
Yes, you managed to catch the one key that is in front of you and Andrew. How are you catching it? Are you kind of tackling it to the ground with the... or are you bundling it up? Or what are you doing?
Well, I toss it over the key and pull it downwards.
Cool. The key furiously batters against the inside. You get the feeling it's not going to stay in there for too long. It might be able to fight its way out. But for the moment, its AC is lowered.
I hold, as a bonus action, I hold the tablecloth out with one hand, as if beckoning Andrew to shoot it after this.
Fair. Okay, it's now the key's turn. So I'll just roll them. Oh wow. Okay. Right. Key the first is going to go for Brahck again. Key the second is going to go for Vio again. I will get to those in just a moment. Because Key the third tried to escape, got a 9, failed. So key number 3 is going nowhere. So key number 1 going for Brahck. Brahck, does the 17 hit your armor class?
Yes.
I will just roll... No, I won't roll damage. It's 1. Take 1 damage. And Vio, if you could also take 1 damage, please.
I'm down to 10.
This might be a good time to remind you that each of you have been given a standard healing potion. You hopefully don't need to take them now, but just if things get desperate, you will do have 1 healing potion each. And that rolls around to the broom is out of action, so I think that's Andrew next, right?
Yes. Do I use a turn reloading or?
Right, let's quickly find this out. 1 second.
So the movement effort.
Yeah, because you get, in your turn, you get movement action, and bonus action, right?
It should be movement action to reload unless they updated it. So I can't confirm right now. I don't have any resources out.
For now, and I might change this later, again, playing fast and loose with the rules, use your bonus action to reload, and you can fire again if you wish.
Okay, I'm gonna do that then.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit. I'm going to say the AC has been brought down to 12. Well, that's a shame.
That was a D10.
Oh yeah, that's a D10.
Oh.
No, that's for damage. If you could roll to hit first.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay, just a D20 plus your dex mod.
Oh yeah, Andrew's not proficient in it.
Does that mean he can't use his dex mod? Or, like, has a
No,
penalty?
if he's proficient in it, he can use proficiency plus dex, so it would be a +4.
Oh, I see. Well, he's not proficient. And that still didn't hit, sadly. You try to hit it, but it just kind of jerks out of the way at the last moment, so your shot goes wide and just embeds in the wall, next to where the broom was.
Okay.
This brings us to Brahck.
I'm going to attack the queen with my sword again, because I'm not
And,
smart.
sorry, which key are you going for?
I'm gonna go for the one in front of me.
So, key number 1 again. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Hey,
Hey! You take
20.
that key out. They only have 2 hit points, so you don't even have to. I'm not even going to make you roll damage for that.
But I get to roll 2d6 plus 4 plus 1d4.
I mean, you can roll that.
No, I'll just say
See how much overkill it is. But yes, in a flaming arc, you bring the sword down, and the key has a moment of realizing it can't move fast enough, and like you almost hear a tiny metallic, and it goes kthunk, brought down to the ground by your flaming sword, and that key is now out of action. And now we are round to Vio.
Great. I'm gonna just try the exact same thing as last time.
Go for it.
Yeah.
D20 plus
Roll to
5.
hit first, right?
Roll to hit first, yes please. There we go. Oh, luck's turned around
Yes.
here. You now let me just
Hey.
double check. It's single target Ray of Frost, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So your ray hits the little bastard full on, and it has a similar moment of, you think maybe the keys were getting a bit arrogant, and it has a moment much like its brethren of having a second of going, oh, this is coming straight for me and I'm not moving out of the way, oh god. And it just freezes, and you can sort of see it take on a sort of blue tinge as it's just covered in ice, and it's blasted backwards and then just kind of goes dink dink and drops to the floor.
Quality.
Top of the round is Gabby.
Well, I guess since I'm just holding that tablecloth, I'll just slowly tighten the loose end of the tablecloth until I have the key in my hand and crush it with my fist.
Cool. Roll unarmed strike. Sorry, roll for hit. Roll to hit. No, don't roll to hit. You know what? No, you don't have to. You don't have to roll to hit for that, honestly, because like it's right there. Yeah, roll for damage with unarmed strike.
It does 2 damage.
You do 2.
Flat.
It just always does 2 damage, or it does D2.
Yes, it always does 2 damage.
Oh, sweet.
There is no D2 or it always does 2.
So Gabby has had enough of this nonsense. Just kind of balls the cloth up, or tightens the cloth until it's just got the key, and just goes the key just kind of goes. Sorry, I just realised that I tried to make a sound effect with both my hands, which meant taking my thing off the push to talk. Sorry.
It's okay.
I made a very sickening thud with my fists. It was awesome. You'll just have to take my word on it. So, yeah, sorry. And Gabby just kind of goes thunk down with their fist onto the key, and the key just kind of goes. And you have, well done. You have taken out all the enemies in the first room.
Yeah, we're so good at this.
Okay. And yes, you can see that there is a door off to one side, which presumably leads into the rest of the house. You have a slightly broken looking broom, 3 very sorry looking keys that are no longer putting up a fight, and a table and a tablecloth. What do you all want to do?
I'll pick up the keys.
I'm gonna personally just fist fight the air because I'm so mad.
Fair. The air howls back at you.
Wow. How dare you?
Okay, Brahck, you've got the 3 keys.
Yes.
And would you all like to proceed to the next door, or is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm bringing this tablecloth with me in case anything funny comes up again.
That's a very good idea. When in doubt, you can also just put it on yourself and pretend to be a ghost. Pretty sure Bobby did that last time. Alright, would you like to advance to the door?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is locked.
Can we like dramatically kick the door?
You certainly can.
I would say to try my things.
This is the question. Who gets there first? The person who wants to kick the door, or the person who wants to try opening the door with the key?
I want to say it's me because I'm mad. So like I'm running. I just run towards the door. And kick
Okay,
it.
so you have a moment of Vio just going, like, someone tries the door, it's locked, Vio goes, alright, make way, here comes Vio, while Brahck is just kind of going, we have key, okay. Roll strength.
Okay, great.
If you roll a nat 1, you are landing flat on your ass, I'm warning you now.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I have
10.
no mod.
That is
whatsoever.
not enough to break the door. It makes a very impressive, slight footprint in the door, and you can hear the door creak in protest, but it does not, it does not open the door.
I would like to try one of the keys.
I'm just gonna like starfish on the ground now and just lay there.
Because it's so dusty, you can, if you wish, make dust angels.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, but if you do it for too long, I'm making you roll for allergies. Yes. Griphen, you try the keys and one of them does indeed work.
Well, I was just gonna try one.
Oh, you're just going to try one? Which one do you try?
The first one.
The first one works.
Hey, I did something right now. Something smart.
Oh, bless him. Okay, the door is open and slightly battered.
I opened the door and crouched through it.
Stealthy stealth.
Yeah.
The next
Okay, I'm
room...
gonna get up. I'm gonna get up off the floor and then just shout into the house. Where are you, you dick? Come fight me.
You can hear, like, rattling and creaking and howling, but no voice.
Coward.
I'll tell you what, though, as the door creaks open, the next room looks to be a parlour of some kind. There's a few cosy armchairs and a couch. But what really draws your eye the most is what must have once been a very impressive suit of armour, but it's now dull and rusted, next to a pair of crossed swords hanging on the wall above a fireplace. And above the swords, ink starts to run down from the wall again, like it did on the door, and says, "Turn back."
Nah. You have enraged me. I'm never giving up.
Bad feeling about this.
I would like to walk towards the armor and first gently slide my sword as to not hurt the armor, but slide my sword into the armor where it's inside it, but not hurt the armor.
Okay, you're putting your sword sort of inside the suit of armour?
Yeah.
You can do that. Is there anything in particular you're trying to achieve with that?
No.
Fair enough.
It's just like sticking out of where the head would be.
So the hilt is sticking out of the head?
Well, I mean, I'm still holding on to it.
Oh, you're still holding on to it. As you are still holding on to it, the suit of armour starts to creak and move, and one of the arms comes up and grips your forearm, as if to say,
not again.
"The hell did you just do?"
I knew it.
Very, very well called. Would you all like to roll for initiative again?
Yes. I'm gonna beat this thing's butt.
Initiative 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Alright, I got a 4.
Oh god, I should roll 2. Ah!
So a 20 and a 21.
Whoa. You guys are kicking ass, alright?
And a 4.
Okay, quick rundown. Griphen, you got 4.
Yes.
Gabby.
21.
Vio.
12.
Andrew.
I got 20. 18 plus 2.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
Gabby, you have first again.
Ooh, question marks.
Ooh.
I'm excited.
So the suit of armor is still holding on to Brach's hand.
Yep, this has just happened.
But it's my left hand, not my right. Which means I can still use my sword.
Yep, that is very clever, I approve.
I'm gonna use my movement action to look around the room and see if I see anything else.
You can
To survey the room.
Perception.
Okay, yep. Let's just do another roll. Is it a +1?
DC
Yep.
15 on this one. Good. The swords on the wall are starting to move.
Awesome.
And they are the mysterious initiative.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna run up to Brach and to his left side and jam my rapier into the suit of armor.
Nice. I'm still going to need you to roll to hit.
Mhm. Wow.
You do, but the armor is very. You manage to hit the armor where there's no gap in it, and it's very tough. And your rapier just kind of slides off it. Andrew, you're next.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna attack just with the pistol again.
The suit of armor.
Yeah.
Roll to hit. Oh, it'd be a good time to check what the AC on this armor is.
Just so long as not the action.
Oh no, wait. You get dex added to that, don't you? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so +2.
Good. That means you do hit. Yes. Roll damage, please. Okay, and ooh, that is nice.
And then
you get
+2 for
and
dex.
+2,
so
so
that's
you
11.
deal 11 damage. Cool. I can actually take note of the damage that's coming off here. That's lovely.
So much math.
It's been pointed out that D&D manages to trick people into using math and improv, things that a lot of people try to avoid in real life.
I literally reblogged that post on Tumblr like last week.
Yes! Oh, I need to follow you on Tumblr, clearly. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
Quality.
So that's... my brain is not mathing properly. Give me 1 second.
It's fine.
The way I do damage is I count up.
Yeah, that's
So-
not a bad idea, actually. That is actually a very good idea, and I might do that next time.
For enemies and enemies.
Yeah. Okay, you, Andrew, shoot the pistol at the suit of armor, and it blows a hole in its side, and it staggers. You do conveniently, by the way, miss the sword inside the suit of armor, because I don't really want to have to deal with that.
Alright, that's good.
Thank you.
So
Meant to do that.
the suit of armor staggers, and you can actually see the sword through the hole in the armor. It's pretty cool. That concludes your turn, Andrew, which brings us around to oh yes. Now, Gabby, you saw that the swords above the fireplace were starting to move, and now they are going to do a thing. They are, in fact, going to go for... One of them is going to go for you, Gabby, since you noticed them, and one of them is going to go for... I feel like it would either go for Brachck, because it engaged with the suit of armor, but it might also go for Andrew, who has just damaged the suit of armor, so I'm just going to roll a d2. 1 is Brachck, and 2 is Andrew.
Typical.
It's going for Andrew.
Damn.
Sorry, buddy. Okay, so sword the first was going for Gabby. rolled in at one,
Nope.
flies over, is very enthusiastic, flies straight past Gabby's ear and embeds itself in the door frame. So that's what happened to Sword 1. Sword 2 is aiming for Andrew. I think that probably hits, don't you?
Oh my god.
Flies straight toward Andrew as if to say, You just shot my friend. And it's gonna roll d6 slashing damage. Oh god, it got full. Take 6 points of damage?
Is that off armor class?
No, that's off.
That's off your
Your-
hit points, sorry.
Okay,
That's off your
okay.
max hit points.
That's the first damage you've taken this session, right?
Yeah, so I have 6 HP left.
Yay!
Damn, you strong. Cannot relate.
I have 10.
I'm like a bowl of mashed potatoes.
I think the only person who hasn't taken damage
Is
yet
that a lot of HP or not?
That's nothing.
Yes, Violette is a squishy wizard, so you must
Yes.
protect her at all costs. The only person in the party who has less HP than Violette is Bobby when he is in his cat form.
Which is most of the time.
So I think, is Gabby the only person who hasn't taken damage yet?
Yes.
Oh, I've got to rectify that at some point. Okay, the swords have done their damage. Is it the... Vio, you're next.
Great. So it doesn't say how hot Burning Hands is, but can we just assume that it's like the melting point of steel?
Possibly. If you sell it to me as flavor. Describe what you're doing.
I just want to like melt absolutely everything, you know? Like just like I just yell very loudly, "Get out of my way." And then I just hold my hands up and whoosh.
Just so you know, we can't move until our turn. So get out of my way. That's
I still yelled it though, so
Yeah,
you were warned. And whether or
That's
not you
alright.
did it was your fault.
Oh my
All
god.
right. Just letting you know.
I mean, yes, technically the mechanics, but you see. Okay, Burning Hands, let me just...
I yelled it.
It's okay, it's friendly fire.
Yeah. Friendly.
The fire of my love for all of you. And it's coincidentally the melting point of steel, which is approximately like
If it's the melting point of
2,500 degrees
steel-
Fahrenheit.
If it's the melting point of steel, I think it might also be the melting point of person. Anyway, as you
We don't
hold-
know that. We don't know that. There's no number on Google that says that it is. So
Magic.
we don't know.
Okay, as you hold your hands with
No.
thumbs touching and fingers spread, a thin sheet of flames shoots forth from your outstretched finger. Each creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Oh, and the flame ignites any flammable objects in the area.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I must point out to you that if you do this while your friends are still in the line of fire, even if they dodge out of the way, they're taking damage. Are you sure you want to do this?
And all of us are in there.
It is also acceptable, if you would like, to hold your action until everyone is out of the way.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
You really had to convince me on that one, but fine.
I'm just making sure everyone knows all the options. Okay, Violette is holding her action. She has said, get out of the way. So if you do not get out of the way, that's going to be on you. The armor, meanwhile, is going to... Right, the armor is just kind of in this awkward place of sort of being an unwitting sword swallower and just kind of going, excuse me, do you mind? Your sword is in me. So the
My flaming sword.
flaming sword It's going to just try and shove this interloper. So it's going to try and shove Brahck. So let me roll to hit.
Natural one.
That's another nat one.
No.
Suit of armor falls over. I mean, God.
Does my sword do any damage as it falls?
Roll strength to make sure you can hold on to your sword as the suit of armor falls away.
Okay. So 6 plus.
Plus.
Is it a save or a roll?
I'm gonna say it's a roll.
Okay, then that's 10 total.
10? Okay, that's what you needed to get. You managed to hold on to the sword. I'm gonna say roll half damage to damage the suit of armor as it falls.
Okay, so I'll roll damage
And then half it, yeah.
Okay, so that's. Hold on. I wrote it down so I can copy and paste it. That's what like that. There you are.
I'm glad it's not just me who needs to look for the things.
So 13.
So half of 13.
Yeah. Round
that up, say 7.
Okay.
Okay, the suit of armor is not looking so hot. It was already rusted and pretty dull, and now it's looking pretty battered as well. And it is now actually your turn, Brahck.
Okay.
And just as a reminder, Violette is holding an action to burn everything.
Yes, I am going to. If I can, I'm going to step back and walk over or run over to the sword stuck in the wall.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna whack that as hard as I can.
Okay, are you whacking that with your sword?
Yes.
Hot sword on sword action. Roll to hit, please.
Okay, 10 plus 6. So 16.
Let me just... its AC is normally 17, but it's embedded in a wall right now, so I'm going to take that down and say that you do indeed hit. So roll damage, please.
Thank you. That's the 15.
15, nice. The sword, it doesn't shatter, but when you hit it, it's like you can tell the structural integrity is severely compromised at this point, and it's got like a big long crack in it. It's still holding on there, it's still animated, but it's not looking very healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great sword, and that is of a goliath. It's pretty heavy.
Yosh. Okay, and that takes us around to... Oh, it's back to the top, so back to Gabby.
Okay. I move away from the suit of armor, but before and walk towards the sword embedded in the wall and give it another swing.
Cool. Roll to hit. Yep, no problem. Roll damage. Yep. Gonna be honest with you, it only had 2 hit points left. It shatters. That sword is now an X sword. Okay, so that sword is now taken care of, and I believe it's Andrew's turn next. Reminder, anytime now, Violette is going to set everything on fire.
I'm mad though, because like now it feels like y'all don't even need me.
There's still a sword and a suit of armor.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess I'll just get out of the way and just reload meanwhile.
That's fair. And that means it is the remaining sword's turn. Remaining sword does bugger all. it had been sort of aiming for Gabby, but it just kind of goes blah, and it's just I think it's slightly just kind of like well that paladin just shattered my comrade. I'm just gonna oh I'm just gonna stay over here.
Are we assuming these swords are communists?
I mean comrade in the neutral sense of the word.
Not the
It's
Russian.
brethren. It's familia. Anyway. Oh god, I'm humanizing the swords now. What are you doing to me? Theo, it's your turn, and I believe everyone has vacated the area.
Okay, great.
Do you want to do some burning hands?
Yes.
Do you want
Very
to
badly,
melt some steel?
Yes.
Excellent. So I need these two to make a dex saving throw. Everyone else has got out of the way, so you don't have to worry about like making a saving throw or anything. So dex saving throw. Oh, I'm gonna actually have to look up their dexes, or I could just roll a straight d20. I might just do that.
I respect you.
Whatever takes less work. Armor's saving throw is a 13. Damn it. The swords. This particular room is not having a good day. That's everyone has every animated object in this room has rolled a nat 1 now. So second sword, you flambe the second sword. The armor will take half. No. Can someone remind me how saving throws work? Is it no, it needs to meet a DC set by
By the spell.
yeah, so the spell DC is 13, it says right there, the save is Dex 13. Which is exactly what the suit of armor hit. So I think that means the suit of armor makes the saving throw. So it will take half damage. So if you want to go ahead and roll your 3d6 fire damage, please. Very nice. So the sword takes 11, and the suit of armor takes 6.
We're rounding up. I appreciate that.
I prefer it that way. The suit of armor just melts. You can sort of see you see as everyone sort of stands to one side and the room is set aglow as Vio just holds out her hands and fire gushes forth from them, and the sword and the suit of armor are just shining with light and heat and sort of turning sort of glowing orange, and the suit of armor
Starts in the background.
and the suit of armor just becomes slightly misshapen, and it's already crumpled to the floor, and it just kind of folds in upon itself as the heat sort of takes it and melts it like clay. The suit of armor is down. The sword is still up, but it's looking very sorry for itself right now. It's looking slightly slightly melted, basically. It's definitely less sharp than it was. It's now going to do like bludgeoning damage rather than slashing damage. But that's all you're left with. It's just that. And Vio, that was your held action from last time. So honestly, I actually should have let you go before the sword, and I messed up on that. So that was your held action from last time. You can now go again immediately.
Oh wow.
Are you gonna burn it again?
That is allowed.
I mean, I feel like that would be overkill. Kind of. I don't know. That's on brand, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah. Sorry. What would you like to do?
Can I just like? I don't want to say like punch it with my dagger because that's not really how that works. But like,
You
can
can
I just kind of.
You can if you like.
At it?
Yeah. You can use your dagger. Roll to hit, and be careful because that's hot. that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah. That finishes it off. It cracks. It's like after your spell sort of finished, it like kind of stopped melting and kind of dried uber fast, and it's like you've hit something that had been petrified, and it crumbles and just clatters to the floor in a cloud of rubble, basically. Congratulations, you have cleared the second room.
Question, is the house on fire?
I'm gonna say no, because that would be terrible.
Yeah, we're gonna assume that like after I burned it, I just sucked the fire back into myself because I'm a dope sorcerer.
I'm gonna say that, yeah, you have some level of pyrokinesis that comes with the Burning Hand spell. The flames are controlled, the house is not on fire.
Hell yeah. Also, because I would like literally just like commit seppuku if I messed up Clover's house because I love them.
Oh, bless. Okay, so... yes, Griphen?
I walk over to Theo and go for a high five.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
So, before we proceed to the next room, I use I use 3 of my lay on hands pool on Andrew and restore 3 hit points for him.
Oh, very good. Okay, so Andrew, you're back up
And
to
I
two.
use the remaining 2 to restore 1 point each to Brahck and Vio.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. So, thank you very much for that, Tan. So,
I have 11 now. You really shouldn't know that I have more health than all of you.
Oh, don't worry, I have 12.
It's not hard to have more health than me.
Yeah, I did. That's who I would put who I would feel is our wizard.
alrighty. So if I'm right, it's like Violette's on 6, Andrew's on 9, Brock's on 11, Gabby's on 18, something like that?
Something like
12.
Oh, you're
12.
12. Why did I think...
My armor class is 18.
Ah, I got those the wrong way around. Thank you for... yeah, thank you. That makes more sense. Okay. There is another door from the parlour leading into a different room. You are free to proceed as you will.
Okay, I'm gonna yell into the house, is that all you got? Because I don't know when to quit.
On the next door that leads into the next room, the ink starts to appear again. The house is, it shudders but a bit more quietly than usual, and as the ink appears, it says, "Please," in capital letters. And then a pause for a moment, and then "Leave" underneath.
You said please, and that makes me susp, but I'm still gonna kick your ass.
The house does not seem to respond.
I'd like to try the door.
You try the door, it is locked.
Okay, I'm gonna kick it.
I'm going to say that unless you are shoving... basically, Brahck is right by the door, so unless you're shoving him out of the way, he is going to be able to try a key first.
I would just like fling my body into the door, like just straight up body slam. The door.
Brahck, did you say you were trying a key?
Yes.
Which key are you
can't
trying?
hear you.
I think that with my intelligence, I would have taken the key out of the first door to know, oh, this is the key for everything, and tried it on the second door.
The key that you used on the first door does not work on the second door.
And so I'm just gonna go, uh-oh, and I'm just gonna, like, try and secretly slam the door open with my shoulder.
You say you were slamming the door open?
Yes, with my shoulder.
I see. You two both hit the door at the same time, both roll strength. Okay, so that's a 12 for Vio, and a 13.
13 plus 4.
Oh, good. Vio, as you make contact with the door, it hurts you feel like for a second it's not going to give, but then as Brahck shoulders into the door, it basically flings open, and you kind of
Land flat on
stagger
the floor by
stagger
mistake.
into the door because forward momentum.
Yeah, and Hagrid's trying to kind of keep it secret, trying to pretend like might
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't necessarily notice that it's Brahck doing that. Basically, you connect with the door, it feels like it's not going to give, then it does, and you go woo through the door.
And I hold the key of the girl. I did it again for the back of my pocket.
Okay. Vio, you are now in the next room. And Brahck, you are now in the doorway to the next room.
I'll enter,
Okay, next room.
still under my flaming sword.
Good. The door opens into a study, judging by the bookcases teeming with crumbling old tomes. A desk in the corner is littered with parchment and quills, some of them spilling onto the floor. Spilling onto the rather handsome burgundy rug that covers a decent portion of the floor.
That's a nice rug.
I will say right away, I would not step on that rug.
The rug sits
There-
there innocently.
There is one thing that I do know, and that's that rugs always betray you.
Okay. Who hurt you? And are you okay?
Clearly a rug hurt him.
Yes!
I think we should like rifle through the stuff on the desk. See if there's any knowledge.
Can you burn the rug first?
I guess if it's in the way, I'll step on the rug. It's a rug, man.
Okay. But I wouldn't. That's the one thing I know.
I'm sorry, I believe the best in rugs.
Okay.
Such a beautiful rug, I don't think could betray me.
Violette, I would like you to roll charisma.
This is something
Okay.
my character would know.
Oh, Brahck has experience with this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, man.
I try not to meditate, but this is something my character would know.
That's totally fair. I would actually like you to roll with advantage, because I want to see if it'll work.
Okay. I love being a guinea pig.
Yes!
Mm.
The carpet bristles, but it's kind of like it kind of curls up its corner, and it's more inquisitive than anything. It's like it's going, "You think I'm beautiful?"
Of course I think you're beautiful. I love rugs.
And the rug just kind of with one of the corners just kind of shuffles back and forth if it's not quite sure what to do with this information. And one of the there's a couple of things that are happening right now, and that's like the carpet is going like shuffling back and forth and kind of moving a little bit, and clearly like, well, I'm supposed to be doing stuff, but I don't know if I want to do this stuff anymore. And one of the bookcases is starting to creak, and one of there's a spell book in the bookcase that's starting to kind of nudge out of the bookcase, and it's all very tentative at the moment.
Can I feel the rug to see how soft it is?
You can. It's a little bit threadbare because it's obviously quite old, and it's quite dusty because, you know, this place hasn't been lived in for a while. But you can tell that it was it's like sort of like a cottony, woolly blend. So yeah, it's quite soft.
This is a quality rug, guys. I love this rug.
Meanwhile, eventually the spellbook actually falls off the bookcase and lands open on the floor, and it's kind of turning its pages back and forth in what you think.
Someone should go look at that.
Might? You're not sure, but you think it might be trying to be menacing?
I would like to, without touching the ground, walk over, if I can, to the book.
You can do that without touching the rug.
Yeah,
What do you want to do when you reach the book?
I'm just gonna look at it and ready in action to hit the book with that sword if it attacks me.
Fair. So you basically have an attack ready if the book does anything untoward. At the moment, it seems to be blank pages that are leafing back and forth.
I am very confused by this.
While Brahck is busy with the book and Vio is playing with the rug, I walk
I'm
over
petting
to
the rug. I respect the rug.
Theo has made a friend.
I walk towards the desk and ruffle through whatever's on there to see if I find anything interesting.
Sure. Again, it's mostly written in Gnomish, but I'm gonna say that you do find the occasional. I'm gonna say you find some stuff in Elvish and some stuff in Common. And what they mostly are is notes on spell making and spell casting and enchanting objects. Basically, a magic user used this as their study. You can also tell though that the notes are quite general. They don't go into any major specifics. So you feel like there's more to it, but not here. Like, if you feel like the research presented to you on the desk is incomplete. This is only some of the work that this person has done.
I wonder if maybe Clover's book is the rest of it.
I'm going to pick up all of the research papers and store it in my pouch.
As you're doing this, some of the papers rustle, and they're not properly animated, but you can tell that something is acting through them, and ink seems to appear in bits and pieces and writes out in Common, "You have to leave." And
Now you know, by now, we're not budging. So I don't know why you're wasting your own time.
And the spell book that Brahck is looking at, writing starts to appear on it. It levitates and holds out and opens itself and stops turning its pages and just holds itself open, and appearing on the blank pages are, "It's not safe here."
Well, I figured that out when a bunch of keys tried to kill me, but like, thanks for the heads up.
And at this point, the spellbook starts to crackle with electricity, and I need you to roll for initiative. I will say though, Gabby, that you managed to put the papers away in your inventory.
What did that do? So 16.
Ah, that's pretty uniform. Okay. You said Brahck got 14?
16.
16.
Andrew hasn't rolled initiative.
Are you still with us there, Andrew? You've been a bit quiet.
Sorry, I'm on push to talk and I keep forgetting.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Sorry, I'm worried that we're not including you enough.
I tend to speak more than everyone, so like, just tell me to shut up.
No, it's okay.
Actually, you don't. Most people are talking about the same amount, I think. Gabby, what did you roll?
I rolled a 15.
Theo.
I got an 18.
Andrew, did you roll?
Okay, 15.
15.
Any
Did you add your
modifiers to
plus two?
that?
Oh yeah, your dex modifier is...
Oh, it's 217. I keep forgetting.
That's alright. I don't usually remember. That's why we have Tan here to keep us right. And
So
also
we
because
have
he's a good role player, obviously.
a 15, a 16, a 17, and an 18.
That's really good.
Legends only.
Okay, Vio. The spellbook has just crackled electricity menacingly at you.
I would like to use my prepared action.
That's right, you did say that. Okay, you can go at the top of the round, Brahck. Are you going to attack the book?
Yes.
Roll to hit.
But it's
Set
full
the
of
book on
knowledge.
fire. Set the book on fire.
But it's knowledge.
I hate doing this. Like, IRL, but well, I don't get it. Natural one.
Was that a natural one?
It was.
Oh no. Well, on the plus side, the book does not burn.
Yeah.
Thank God.
You
It's
kind of
knowledge.
his knowledge. You try to bring down the flaming sword on the book. The book moves out of the way. Your sword goes into the wooden floor.
I'm feeling it.
That is mahogany.
These beautiful hardwood floors will never be the same.
There's a burn pattern now.
Okay, thank you for reminding me about that. So Brahck has now taken his prepared action, and it is around to Vio.
Is there any way to charm the book into not being mean?
Give it a go. How would you like to do that?
Please, book, don't make me hurt you. You're full of knowledge. I would love to learn from you. Please don't attack me.
I'd like to give Kayla inspiration for trying to diplomance the furniture.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
Okie dokie.
So that's both
Oh my
Kayla
God,
and
no.
Andrew who have inspiration. Kayla and Anthony who have inspiration now.
Yay.
Wow.
Oh,
That is fan-damn-tastic.
Natural.
That is a great place for a natural 20.
Oh
The
my
book
God.
sort of it starts to crackle with electricity a bit more, but then the electricity fades and the book kind of lowers itself slightly, and even the bookcase as well is like the bookcase was kind of creaking and trying to shuffle forward, and it kind of stops, and the rug what the rug actually does is lifts itself up and just kind of drapes itself protectively over Violette's shoulders.
oh yes, I'm so hyped.
And writing appears on the wall, which says, it kind of goes, the ink runs very slowly, and you can tell that there is either a lot of effort or a lot of hesitance or a lot of pain in this, as the ink runs down the wall, spelling out the words, "If I can't dissuade you, you can find me in the next room."
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm just standing there, like, what happened?
It's like, the furniture did what?
But I'm like, well, okay. And I pull my sword out and I walk to the door.
Okay, you walk to the door. This door, it is indeed another door leading to another room, and it is also locked.
I'm gonna try the door and try the key.
Which key are you trying?
You can try your key now. I'll let you.
I'm gonna try number 2 this time.
Number 2 does not work.
So I'm gonna do the same thing. So
Why didn't you try number 3? This is the third door.
I'm gonna hit the door. I'm not intelligent, okay? Characters. You're
Don't
not
sass it.
intelligent.
You're trying.
Okay, fine. Can I ask to see the third key?
I'm gonna hit the door.
I mean, if you don't knock it down.
Yeah,
Is the door being unlocked or is the door being pushed in?
it's being pushed in by me.
Roll strength.
15 plus 4. So,
You
Double.
push the door in. Behind you, the spellbook ruffles its pages indignantly.
Why couldn't we have, There were 3 keys. We had the option. I'm not mad anymore.
I pull all 3 keys out and just walk over to Violette and give them to her with a sheepish look on my face. Like, here. And then I pat her on the head.
Well, now you have all the keys.
And I look down with shame in my face.
Are you all going into the final room?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This last room has no more doors leading off it. Small and sparsely furnished with exposed stone walls, it looks like an unfinished afterthought. Somewhere people aren't meant to come. A desk and chair sit in the centre, surrounded by stacks of books and piles of magical paraphernalia like cauldrons, arcane focuses, and component pouches. The air in here is stale and cloying and oddly cold. Cedric, who has been with you the entire time, by the way,
Oh yeah, Cedric, I love you.
is immediately on edge, snuffling anxiously into Andrew.
Oh, I cuddle him.
He just burrows into your arms, and he's very bothered by something in here. And like I say, the air is it's not freezing, but there is a chill to the air that was not noticeable up until this point.
As soon as I feel that, I like to say, everyone, if you will get behind me, I will go first, I guess.
We can't see anything yet, like a humanoid specter. We can't see it yet, right?
Not yet. I mean, no. What makes you think there's a ghost in here? Sorry.
It's cold.
Yeah.
And that's like the trademark ghost.
It's
thing.
cold and the animal is scared.
Yeah, Cedric knows what's up.
Hashtag Cedric knows.
We'll make it happen.
Do you all want to do anything with this new room? Or
I wanna just ask the ghost to show itself.
Okay. It seems to be like if you've ever kind of blown out birthday candles and the smoke kind of hovers in the air until you kind of blow it and it all dissipates. It's like that, but happening in reverse. And the sort of ethereal mist gathers together until it comes into a form. And glowing this sort of whitish blue in a translucent form is a very old gnome woman. And you can see right through her. Her hair is her sort of medium length hair is sort of floating back from her face. Her body disappears into nothingness so that you can't see her legs below her dress, and her arms are outstretched, and you start to notice each wrist is manacled to a chain, as if she is trapped.
What's the story? Why have you done this?
I told you not to come.
Yeah, well, I think you should figure it out by now. I'm not good at listening to directions.
No. You remind me of my daughter. Why have you come?
Because you brought destruction over this town. And that's not right.
I did. And she looks genuinely confused and pained. I had hoped to avoid it. I can feel it happening. I can feel myself changing.
How do we stop it?
I don't. She's trailing off, and you can tell that she's holding something back that she really doesn't want to say out loud.
I sound out. Whoever you were, I'm assuming your daughter is your son daughter is Clover.
The child. I have to protect them. I have been protecting them and their parents and their parents before and their parents before. My daughter and my sons and all their descendants, protected by me. I won't let them be hurt for as long as I exist.
Who says they're being hurt?
I don't know, but they will be. If I do not protect them, something is dangerous. And you can tell she's getting more distressed. She is glancing back and forth, and she's trying to remember something. There was danger, not just me. But I am danger. I am dangerous as well. Not to my child, but to everyone else. That's why I try to keep them away. It's not safe. By the way, anyone is free to roll Arcana at this point.
I'll do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
19. Yeah, 19.
You realize that this woman is turning into a spectre, but she isn't one yet. She's a ghost.
Okay.
The specter.
So,
You can tell she's definitely turning, though.
Okay, then where's the original specter that turned her into one?
That's the question, isn't it?
Guys, help me out here.
Thinking.
So,
Think faster.
I go, you can't be doing this on your own. Who's helping you?
Helping. I'm not on my own. The danger is not just me. But I don't remember. It has been so long since I was alive. My memories crumble like so much dust. I don't know anymore. I barely remember who I am. I remember my children and my grandchildren. And now there is the child, my great-grandchild, the only one that I know is left. I don't know what to do. The only way that I can think to stop myself from becoming a danger is to destroy me. But if I am gone, who will protect the child?
Have I ever heard of or learned about this kind of thing happening?
Which kind of thing?
Like a ghost or someone who's passed, helped by an inspector.
Being helped by a spectre? Or being...
Yeah, or not helped, but
Anyone who wishes can roll history, arcana, or general intelligence. Just tell me which one.
I'll do a history check. History.
Would I get advantage on it?
On an intelligence check, yeah, you get advantage on that, don't you?
If it has to do with undead
Yeah.
or stuff like that.
Yeah, you can roll intelligence.
So there's that. So natural 20.
And what did you get there, Tan?
18 plus 2.
Oh, you got
20.
an unnatural 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Gabby, was your history...
Yes.
Generally, you don't hear about collaborations between ghosts and spectres. your understanding of it is that when someone is killed by being life drained by a spectre and they turn into a spectre and that's just it, there's no in between. But you do remember reading of some powerful magic users who can defy that. Griphen, with your natural 20 on intelligence, this woman, you can kind of see it coming together before you. This woman was drained to death by a spectre, but somehow, and this is the part you're not sure about how, she managed to stave off her transformation into a spectre. She's turned into a ghost because she's died. She should have turned into a spectre, but somehow she stopped that from happening. But however she stopped it, it seems to not be working anymore, or to be breaking. Whatever enchantment or blessing or spell she cast to stop herself from turning into a spectre is wearing off. She was holding it at bay, but it's not going to last for much longer.
Okay.
Is there anything in this like massive magic library that we're in that could lend some light onto the subject?
The problem is none of us speak Gnomish.
I mean, we
you
could wing
know
it.
someone who does though.
Could we like go back?
Also, like, this person is a gnome, she would probably speak Gnomish as well.
Well, she's kind of,
Dead.
yeah. I'm kind of forgetful. I don't know that she would be much help, but we could try.
Some options. You could, if you wished, roll investigation in this room, or you could potentially go back and consult with Clover and Lyda. You don't know this, but you can take a guess that Lyda probably knows Gnomish as well, since her sibling is a gnome.
I'll roll investigation.
Okay, anyone who wants to roll investigation. Andrew, you've been a bit quiet. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I was about to just roll for investigation, but
Sweet.
I do think we should go talk to them.
So that's a natural. That's what I got. Presence. +0. So 18.
Okay, so 18 for Brahck, 13 for Violette, 5 for Andrew, and 15 for Gabby. So, investigating this room, and you can pretty much tell, Gabby, you were looking at some of the stuff in the study outside. From looking around here, you find some pieces that seem to fit in to what you could figure out from the desk in the other room. Like, you feel like this is related to the research. This is probably... From looking around, you can tell this is a secret study that's just meant to have the more sensitive information in it relating to the research that you found outside. And now... Oh, and there was an 18. Yes, Brahck rolled the 18. Brahck, you find... let me have a quick think here.
I'm happy I rolled a 5 because it's stuff my character is supposed to know about.
So you find a couple of spell books written in common, and you can tell that these weren't written by the ghost or a gnome or anything, or, well, they might have been written by a gnome, but they're bought books, basically. They're not handwritten. They're purchased spell books or books about magicka. And they're to do with, some of them are to do with the subject of life and death, the subject of undeath, and there are a lot of notes in the margins, some in common, some in gnomish, but all in the same handwriting. You get the feeling she kind of switched back and forth. And one or two of the notes make reference to her journal. Like it's talking about like a talisman or something, and it's underlined, and there's a note in the margin saying discussed on page 5 of journal, And you find a few notes like that, and you can tell that the journal was integral to her research.
We need to go back and get it. Even if we can't read it, someone else can.
I kind of guessed I should have taken the journal.
Yeah.
It's okay, I mean,
Okay,
you're not
but
far.
to be fair, we were fighting stuff, and that's not the most safe place for like a treasured book.
That's true.
Mm.
It could have gotten damaged.
Let's take these notes and everything and head back out. If the ghost would let us just leave like that,
Should someone stay with the ghost?
not a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Y'all don't want to keep an old woman company? Cowards.
But I mean, if they die, they're a specter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll die then. I'm staying with her.
But
Y'all suck.
I'll stay
you'll-
too. Then.
you'll turn.
We don't know that.
We do.
I'm strong.
Okay.
The rug has floated over and settled down in the secret study as well to keep Theo company.
Okay.
Well, if anyone's staying, I'm staying.
Okay, so who is staying and who is heading back to the Higgs household?
I am staying.
I guess I'm going back to the household.
Yeah, then I guess I'll accompany Andrew back.
And I'll stay.
Okay, Brahck and Theo are staying. We'll follow Andrew and Gabby as they head back to the household. Do you just go ahead and knock on the door when you get back?
Yes.
The door squeaks open and Lyda peers around. Oh goodness, there's only two of you. What happened to the others? Is everything all right? Are they in trouble?
No, the two of them are just accompanying an old ghost we encountered in the house. However, we did find several books with reference to the journal. Do you mind translating it for us?
Translating the journal. Oh, yes. My gnomish isn't as good as Clover's, of course, but Clover is already at Lyda's leg, and she just looks down. Oh, there you are. You need the journal?
Would you mind translating it for us?
Like Grandma Esther's research?
Mm-hmm.
I can try. Which parts do you want to know? Because some of it is about her family, and some of it is about her research. And I don't understand all the stuff about her research yet, but I understand some of it. I'm going to be a magic user.
I flip open the book on Magica which we brought along and reference the page 5, was it? I recall.
Clover looks it up. Page 5. Oh, that's right. It's about how I will read it to you. I have been studying the effect of talismans and phylacteries and the fascinating effect they can have on those who have passed beyond the mortal plane. It is intriguing how seemingly normal objects can become important enough to contain the life essence of the person who used them during their life. It was previously thought that only certain items could become phylacteries and talismans, and only then, after extensive research and enchanting and complicated spells. But my theory is that any item can be utilized and with mm, allegedly small amounts of magic. Sorry, translating the novice to common is sometimes a bit tricky. As long as that object was treasured by the person in their life. I don't know if that makes any sense or not.
It's
And
fine, you're doing good.
Lyda just kind of ruffles Clover's hair. And it seems to be saying that souls can be bound in objects that were important to a person when they were alive. It doesn't just have to be a special enchanted phylactery.
Clover, was this journal your parents, or was it your grandparents' journal?
It's my great grandmother's, Esther. She was a warlock, but she knew wizardy and sorcery stuff too. Here, look. And Clover opens it to the first page, and it's in Gnomish. It's in Gnomish, but you can see the name Esther Pelliwit. Is she the ghost you found?
That's actually very likely. She seems to be forgetting things and is generally becoming forgetful, and
Oh, is it 'cause she's old? Clover.
she's definitely old. She's probably passed a long time ago, and her memories are falling apart.
Oh,
However,
maybe we should give her her journal and then she will remember things again.
that's a good idea, Clover.
It's a great idea.
Can I come too? Clover, I'm not sure that's a good idea. But it's my great grandma. Yes, but we're not entirely sure if it's safe. But she wouldn't hurt me. I
True,
don't...
she did. The ghost did mention that she couldn't hurt her descendants.
Alright, but if Clover's coming, I'm coming too.
Of course.
Okay.
And she actually disappears and comes back with a quarterstaff. Alright. Why did you bring your stick? It's just in case. Come on now. While this is happening, Brahck and Vio, is there anything you would like to do while you are waiting for the others to return?
I
No.
think what was her name?
Esther,
You think Esther would be out for some chatting?
you could try.
Just like, how's the weather? What's it like being dead? Etc.
Well, time passes differently. I can't quite keep track of how long it's been. My rug seems to like you. How did that happen?
I'm just good with furniture.
That's a unique skill set.
I'm a unique person.
Yes. I told you reminded me of my daughter. She was unique too. Didn't make friends with furniture, though. If there's nothing else you all would like to do, I can skip forward to when Gabby and Andrew return with Lyda and Clover.
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll just assume the small talk has continued.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay.
I would like to close the door and stay behind it.
With you on the inside of the secret study?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine, you can do that. Andrew and Gabby arrive back at the house with
Wait, didn't you kick the door down?
that's a good point. Well, I'm gonna say you didn't kick it off its hinges.
Okay.
Like you broke the handle, but the hinges are still there.
All right.
Okay. Yes, so the other two, with their charges, come back. Do you just make your way back to the study?
Yes.
Yeah.
Throughout the walk through the house, Lyda has got one hand on her quarterstaff and the other protectively on Clover's head. Like it would be their shoulder, but Clover is very short. Like they're like 9 or 10 years old, but gnomes, so teeny. And they arrive. You arrive and find that someone has shut the secret study door for some reason.
I nudge it. I use the butt of my rapier and just nudge it open.
Brahck, someone is opening the door from the other side. Are you going to let them?
I'm going to peek through, see who it is.
You can see that it's Gabby and Andrew with Lyda and Clover behind them.
Alright, and I step back and open it up.
Just in case it was another murderous suit of armor. As you all step through, Lyda and Clover enter last, and Esther looks specifically at Clover. Like, she looks at everyone as they come in and just kind of slightly dazed expression and confused, and she looks at Clover and her hands cover her mouth, and it's really hard to tell because she's translucent, but you get the feeling that if she were alive, she would be tearing up. Child, are you my great-grandma? I think so. Hello. Hi, I have your book. And Clover looks up at Gabby and Andrew. Do I give her the book?
Maybe you can put it on the desk in front of her. Or do you want me to put it there for you?
They immediately get quite shy and just hold out the book to you, Gabby.
Take the book in one hand and bring it to Esther.
I know this. And she reaches out a hand, which causes the manacles and the chains to slightly clatter around and jangle. And she tries to brush the book cover, the cover of the journal. But obviously she's a ghost, so that her fingers just slightly sink into it. I know this book. This is my book. You've brought me my book. Thank you. And Lyda, who still kind of got Clover quite close to her. Hello, Miss Pellywit. What do we do now?
Well, that's a great question.
I mean, Esther, we did go through some of your notes while we were at Clover's place, and we found your research on talismans and phylacteries. Do you remember anything about it?
Talismans. And Clover is actually going to shuffle forward and take the book and place it down on the table and open it to the relevant page, and they point and look up at Esther. And Esther reads, her eyes scanning, and she starts to smile. They're in here. They're not gone forever. My memories. Not gone. Just waiting for me. And she looks at the four of you and smiles. I may not have to be destroyed. You can bind me to this. And she lays a hand just above the paper, just above the book.
How would we go about doing that?
When it comes to twilight is when my patron is strongest. If I can focus, I can transfer myself to here. I won't be able to hurt anyone, but I'll still be able to protect my descendants.
What time is it now?
I'm gonna say it's Actually, not that far off. It's maybe about... The sun is low on the horizon. It's getting toward twilight right now.
Okay. Is there anything special we can like do to prepare for this ritual?
You. She points toward Theo. A sorcerer. Do you have an arcane focus? A wand, a staff?
No.
Ah, a wild sorcerer.
I have a holy symbol.
A holy symbol. That may work.
My shield is a holy symbol.
Esther nods. Holy symbols might work. Out of character, do you two have gods that your characters worship, or are they unspecified for now? Because I know that we haven't really got into what gods exist in this setting.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's an issue.
My holy symbol is basically a picture of a flaming bear,
Nice.
but I don't know if there's a god to do with that. But I was putting it to me and told that it was a holy symbol, and obviously I believe that. And
Of
I was
course.
told to keep it, so I've got it.
Fair enough.
So that's what I have.
Mine is in the form of a shield, which bears the crest of the paladin order I studied at.
Nice. They should suffice. Anything that you can use to focus your magic will amplify the ambient magic we need to complete the transfer. And you have no arcane focus, but if you created a spell that you could hold in your hands, a ball of fire, a globe of ice, that would help.
How about my sword that's on fire because I've cut myself?
I would not wish you to hurt yourself, dear.
Well, I already did. It's still on fire.
Well, that's convenient. She looks at Andrew. You. Have you any magic, child?
No, but I would like some.
I walk over and give him my holy symbol.
Now just hold on to this and think really, really hard.
Will do.
You are like me, are you not?
What do you mean?
There are fragments. Missing. Parts of yourself you do not know. Stories you have forgotten.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know a lot about before.
There may be things in your past, magics in your soul that you do not yet know of. Do not lose heart. Take the holy symbol. It may help. For this.
Thank you.
I can feel the dusk approaching. My mistress grows stronger. I do not remember who she is, but I know she is strongest with the dusk. And I know she protects me. As she says this, she starts to glow a little more, and it's more of a pinkish purplish kind of light now. And it starts to fill the room. So everything is cast in kind of a violet glow, including the journal, which lays open on the table. And as everyone watches, and Lyda and Clover are watching raptly but silently, she places her hand to the open pages of the journal and actually seems to connect for a moment before her physical form starts to dissolve and sink forward into the journal. And as she's going, she turns directly at Clover and smiles. And then she's almost gone. Except there is a brief moment where everything flashes a deep, burning red. And she cries out, "No! You were right, I am not the first. I fear I will not be the last." And then she's gone.
Ominous.
And the purple glow in the room ebbs and dies down. And the book glows for a moment more, and then it fades as well, and looks just as it did before, a book. And Clover starts to walk over to the table where the book is, but Lyda holds them back by the shoulder. Is it safe now?
I pick up the book, close it, buckle it, and I think I'll use my last divine sense charge. If there's anything else that's bad going on around.
You can detect the lingering scent of undeath in this room, and you feel almost that there's this sort of warmth and weight to the book that wasn't there before, and you can tell that an undead person's soul now resides in that book.
Helen, you might be able to tell that my sword is currently being lit aflame by blood magic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can also detect the blood magic in Brahck's sword.
I walk back to Clover and pass the book back to her. It should be safe now. Your great grandmother said she will protect her descendants, not harm them.
They smile and grab the book back and hug it to their chest. So the book is safe? The book's not going to hurt them?
The book should not hurt you.
And Lyda just leans down and gives Clover a kiss on the top of their head. And she straightens up and looks at the rest of you. Thank you. I don't know how I can thank you. I suppose I could offer you another cup of tea.
That would suffice.
I have a question.
Yes?
Do we still feel the coldness?
The coldness has died away. Cedric has calmed down a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
I snuggle him again.
Cedric licks your cheek.
Pure.
Clover actually tugs on Lyda's sleeve, and Lyda comes down, and Clover whispers something in her ear, and Lyda nods and straightens up. Clover had a good idea, actually. You might not want to do it right now. You might want to take a rest and maybe come back later, but there are some artifacts in this room you've noticed, and they're not doing much here except gathering dust. If you'd like, perhaps you can pick one each as a form of payment, as thanks for helping us.
We'd be honored.
Yes, we'd be honored.
You don't need to worry about that right now, though. I don't think it's going anywhere. How about I get you some tea, and she kind of glances over and notices some of you are a bit banged up and scratched, and maybe I can trouble Elixir for some healing poultices.
It'd be much appreciated, thank you.
Yes, I would very appreciate that.
And Lida is going to lead you back. She puts the tea on and leaves you with Clover while she goes to fetch some medicine and what have you from the Wayside Inn. When she comes back, she is accompanied by Elixir, the Dragonborn innkeeper. I hear we have more to thank you for today than just delivering our medicine. And Elixir takes a seat at the table with all of you.
I mean, it's not a big deal.
Well, not to you perhaps, but we do appreciate it. Listen. This is from me, as a token of my appreciation. Don't open it until you leave town, alright?
Can do.
And she slides a small pouch onto the table for whoever wants to take it.
We'll pick it up and open it later.
Well, if you've taken care of the haunting issue, and Lida speaks up, I told Captain Silt and Lieutenant Merritt, and they're very grateful as well. Yes, so if you've done that and you've delivered the medicine, well, you're free to stay here for longer if you'd like to, and there are rooms. There are rooms at the inn if you'd like to stay. But you're welcome to head back to Ennisford whenever you're ready to.
I think we can discuss it amongst ourselves and let you know later.
Thank you. I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you again, Lida. And Elixir gives a nod to all of you and ruffles Clover on the head and takes her leave.
Should we stay for a day, maybe, to see if the village folk are doing any better?
That's what I would say.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That is absolutely fine. We have been going for about 3 hours now, so I'm probably going to try and wind this up fairly quickly. You do stay a day. You have a couple of rooms in the Wayside Inn. And when you wake up the next morning, people are still quite tired, but over the course of the day, and you kind of spend the day there, and you can hang out and, talk to people and have sing-alongs and go for walks and, make friends with the sheep, and of course go back and select magical items from the Paladin house. And you don't notice no one has woken up any sicker than they were the previous day. And Elixir seems to be optimistic that the medicine has actually been helping, because even if it didn't tackle the root cause of the illness, it did help treat the symptoms. So people are looking more chipper than they were before. So you can tell that some difference is being made here.
Does it appear like we might have dealt with the spectre issue?
It's impossible to tell for sure, but it seems better than it was.
Okay.
I mean, we still don't know where the original specter is or was.
That is a fair
Or
point.
how that came to be.
That is a fair point, and possibly a plot hook for a future game.
Yeah.
Dope.
So I guess we'll make our way back to Ennisford then.
Yep, absolutely. You've done your due diligence. We can sort out later which magical items you picked from the Paladin house. When you get back to Ennisford, you are met by a very excited Striper.
Oh,
So-
on the way back to Ennisford, we opened the pouch which the inn master gave us.
Yes. The pouch contains a flower.
Dope. I love flowers. What kind of flower is it? Tell me more.
It's an amaranthus.
Dude. Hell yes.
And you can tell that there's an enchantment on it to keep it not wilting, basically. It keeps it keeps it looking as though it was just picked.
I love it. Can I keep it?
It's up to the rest of the
Yeah.
party.
Yes, Vio, you can keep it.
I'm
I
fine
vote
with
to give
that.
it to Vio.
Me too.
And there is actually also a small note with the amaranthus that says, "We don't forget the people who help us."
That's so sweet.
Oh, and it's signed A. So, yes. Is there anything else you would like to do on the road? Sorry, before I get you back to Ennisford.
No, I think
I don't
I'm
think
good.
so.
No, that's it.
Okay. You are greeted in Ennisford with, like I say, a very excited Striper, a slightly long-suffering Sulphur who was presumably having to listen to Striper hypothesize about what was going on while you were away, and a very sort of official-looking Governor Ironsight, who has little pouches of coins for each of you. And she hands them out. You each, all 5 of you, I'm going to assume that you picked up Bobby and brought him back with you. Like,
Yes.
we're just gonna say that happened. So you have...
Let's just say we found Bobby in the wagon when we were coming back. He was already there.
Yeah, it's like, hey, what's up, guys? Okay, so you have all come home. All 5 of you are awarded 20 gold pieces, so you may put that in your wealth.
Dope.
Governor Ironsight thanks you, but can tell that if she doesn't let Striper talk to you, he's going to vibrate out of existence, so she takes her leave. And Striper just comes over excitedly to all of you. So how'd it go? Are you okay? You're all alive? I mean, you seem to be alive, unless someone's playing tricks on me.
It was
mostly alive.
wild.
It was fun.
And you didn't get the illness or anything like that? I didn't send you off to be contaminated?
No, we're fine.
Brahck! Okay, but if you're gonna faint, buddy, do it away from me. I think I'd probably be crushed. Alright. Calculated risk. Drinks are on me. Who's in?
Hey, I'm in.
Always.
And,
These are always cool.
I would love a nice glass of Coca-Cola.
What?
That totally exists. I'm letting it happen.
I don't know what that foreign beverage is, but it sounds delicious.
I speak it into existence, and thus it is.
yes, actually, now that you mention it, I think Adelbrand got some in just last week from the Cola Empire.
Oh yeah.
Can I have some Coca-Cola with some lime squeezed on top?
Quite possibly. Let's go check.
Yeah.
Striper leads the way to the calculated risk. And is there anything else you'd like to do before we end the session?
We should probably return the wagon.
Yes, that's true. The wagon was wented. You returned the wagon. Fleet
I've given 2 carrots to
Grog. Good. Grog is very happy.
I, of course, want Fleet to know that I am alive, I'm well, I am attractive, and I am still single.
Fleet slips you a note. that reads next Saturday, calculated risk, you're buying drinks.
I'm down.
As we were going away, I walk over to Brahck and just nudge him. What you used back in the house, it was blood magic, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's about all I know. How to use.
It's okay. I'm fine with it. Don't worry.
I'd like to pull him aside, really far away from everyone else, and I'd like to say, you're a paladin, right?
Yes.
I have something in me that I don't know how to control if it ever gets out. So, if you ever think I'm out of control, you know, kill me or something, knock me out, do something,
Understood. I know.
because, yeah, I've killed like 5 people in like one night.
Understood.
Also, I really don't like free birds, so outside of that, I think I'm good.
I know. I understand.
Okay, thank you.
When the bridge comes, we'll cross it.
Yes, I'm reading up on it and trying to learn how to control it for the future. Because if I can control it, I can use it. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Awesome.
Striper calls over. Hey, are you two done being conspiratorial yet? We've got drinks here. We've got drinks and I want to toast you, damn it.
Okay.
Okay, we're coming.
Foreshadowing and character development all in one session. My birthday's come early. Okay, and that is where we're going to leave you, having a round on Striper at the calculated risk after your first successful mission. Well, your first successful paying mission.
Yeah. Better.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you all very much for that. I think my notes to take away from next time is maybe less combat. Like you all did wonderfully with the combat, but I think next time I won't have so many combats all in a row like that. But
yeah.
yes.
Also, probably since we're all like level 1-ish, combat tends to be a little bit harsh.
Speaking of which, I think you should all now level up to level 2.
Yeah.
What?
So if anyone, it's fairly straightforward to do that, I think, but if anyone needs help, feel free to ask me. And I think that is a good place to leave off for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for being my players while I figure out this DMing lark.
For being the dopest DM.
Why, thank you.
Yep.
And hopefully see you for another adventure sometime in the future. For now, take care.